Waikanae Beach in New Zealand. Hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Porchlight Letters podcast number 2559. Our question today is, where was your family when they lost their first tooth? I remember losing my teeth. I have some that are more memorable than others. Like, I don't remember when I lost my first one. My last one I lost at the age of 16, and it was this one here. This is a new tooth that came in on the inside of my mouth, so they had to pull out the old eye tooth so this one could come in. That's why I have such a cute smile. That's why you got to photograph me on my left side, because I got the cute smile on that side with that tooth there. Some guy was doing a book cover for me one time and corrected it. I went, absolutely not. No, you cannot correct that. So I lost my last tooth when I was 16. It was this one. A couple of months before, I'd lost the one behind it, and he used the one behind to leverage out the old one. Yeah, that was not a comfortable time. He's the dentist that made me afraid of needles. Yes. So I lost my last tooth one, and then there was another tooth that I lost. It was one of these front ones here. And I was going on, and I left the classroom to go to the dental nurse, because the schools in New Zealand have dental nurses there for the elementary schools and even the intermediate ones. So I was walking across to there, and the tooth fell out. And I'm like scrambling around on the ground looking for it, because I don't get the tooth fairy. I won't visit if they don't have a tooth. So I was very, very panicky, because the tooth fairy wouldn't be visiting if I had lost my tooth. And I spent ages looking around on the ground for it all the way around, but there was a drain hole about this big, and we think it may have gone down in there. And I'm like, no, I was very upset about that one. It was one of these front ones. So yeah, teeth are important. But and I always remember somebody would ask one of the what was it? In our youth group, we had somebody who was a one of the leaders who was a teacher, and she said her kids kept asking her, how old are you? And she goes, well, I'm a little older than my teeth and the same age as my tongue. And they go, well, how old's your teeth? They go, a little younger than my tongue. And she'd go around in this circle, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. It was because in those days we were told it's not polite to ask somebody their age, especially a woman. Now I really don't care. I'm turning 60 in December. So, but I would have to tell you, I've had a very adventurous day so far. I have, it is very cold here right now. It is, even though it's 46 degrees Fahrenheit outside, which is, hang on, I got to go open up the other weather program. One moment, get to the other weather program. I have two. I have my New Zealand phone is in Celsius, which is 7 degrees Celsius, but on my US phone, it says that it is, okay, so 45 degrees Fahrenheit or 7 degrees Celsius. That's what we're currently at the moment. But it feels like 35 degrees Fahrenheit or 1 degree Celsius, because we have a dead-on southerly wind, which means it is bringing the wind up from Antarctica, and there is no landmass between Antarctica and New Zealand before it hits Wellington. And yeah, it gets cold. It's got a very cold chill. We're also in the middle of winter, and my brother just sent me a video from his house, and he lives about a 40-minute drive south of me, and closer towards Wellington, and he's up in the hills. He lives up in the hills there, and it's snowing at his place. He sent me this video of snow falling at his house, and I was just like, that is so cool. So yes, it is cold enough that it is actually snowing in the hills of Wellington right now. Well, at least where my brother lives. He's still north of the Central Business District. And we've been having a very wet and windy day today. So the birds outside just got a second feeding of seed today. That's so funny. I've got sparrows and finches and blackbirds around my house. And sometimes the tuis, but the tuis don't come down for the seed. And I have wild bird seed at the house here that I toss out a handful each day. They actually got 2 today. Because it's so cold. I don't want their little bodies getting cold. I know they have a way of coping with it. I know that, but I don't have a dog to dote on right now, so the birds are getting it. So anyway, okay. So that was my first adventure of the day. Then when I started work at 1 o'clock this morning, so I'm running on fumes right now, and I have a meeting at 7 o'clock tonight that goes for 2 hours. So please, prayers for energy for tonight. I'm definitely going to go have a snoozle. I'm not going to survive till 7 o'clock tonight. So I think it might actually be 7:30. I think it's 7:30. It's at 7:30. It's 7:30 to 9 o'clock is the meeting I've got tonight, and I've been awake since 1 o'clock this morning. So I get onto the help chat, and the system that we used was not working. Like it said, I had messages. I'll click on it, and it goes, "Oh, we're unable to load them right now. So please retry in 5 minutes," and we'll have the countdown. And then you click it again, and it wouldn't. So And I absolutely hate they are a system for help chats, for doing help desk stuff, right? But I hate dealing with their help chat because it takes me at minimum 5 minutes to get the bot to understand I need to talk to a human. This is an emergency situation where the system is basically down. We've got calls coming in and we can't see them. And it took 5 minutes to get that message through to them. And then they said, somebody will contact you in less than 4 hours. And I'm like, no, that is unacceptable. This is an urgent case. I need to help some ASAP because our system is basically down. We can't help our clients. And then they come back they told the boss, because the boss logged a call with them, and they told the boss that because he pasted the message, and they came back and said, yes, this is because there's an overload on your system. I said, we have 13 note chats open right now, and we have 2 to 3 people accessing them. It cannot be, it's not an overload on our side. Yeah. Then about half an hour later, we had this little blue thing come across the top of our help chat thing stating that there is an issue with the inboxes right now. And so I said to the boss, I said, well, thank goodness we're not the only ones having this problem. Looks like it's a system-wide issue. And they had it up and running like about an hour later or so. The messages of it's better not take 4 hours to get through finally got through. So that was good. That was part of the adventure today. And then my groceries were late. They were supposed to be delivered between 11:30 and 1:30, and they got delivered about 30 minutes ago, almost at somewhere between 1:45 and 2 o'clock. And the guy and it had specifically on there to deliver to the back door. So I had the curtain across the front window, just half of it there. And what does he do? He doesn't read those instructions. He goes up, puts the bags in front of the door, gets ready to knock, and I open up the side window there and said, the instructions were to please deliver it to the back door because my front door's broken. And he's like, so he had to pick up the bags and all that and walk them around the back. Had he read the instructions in the first place, he wouldn't have had that issue. But, groceries were late, delivered to the wrong door. The help chat was down basically for a couple of hours today. It was a very entertaining day today, and I've still got a whole bunch of stuff to do. So with that, let's get on with the show and talk about our first tooth that was lost. When did we lose our first tooth? Losing a first tooth is one of childhood's unforgettable milestones. For many children, it was a mixture of excitement and nervousness. A wobbly tooth became the center of attention with constant tongue pokes. Yeah. How many times have you had a loose tooth and you keep poking it with your tongue? I was constantly doing this. Probably why my tooth fell out on the ground that day. Gentle wiggles and endless questions about when it would finally fall out. It was a small moment that somehow felt like a very big step towards growing up. And how many times when the tooth was loose, did parents offer to pull it out for you? You're like, no. Hand goes straight across. I was like, no. Well, let's tie a string around it. No. Every family has its own traditions around a first lost tooth. Some children carefully place it under their pillow for the tooth fairy. Others tuck it into a special keepsake box, or were told stories about what would happen to it. Whether the reward was a coin, a small gift, or simply a congratulatory hug, the event became a treasured childhood memory. Parents often remember that milestone just as clearly as their children. There might have been a gap tooth smile in a family photo, a tiny tooth wrapped in a tissue, or a funny story about how it came out while eating an apple, biting into crusty bread, or laughing with friends. Those little moments often became favorite stories told for years to come. Where was I the other day? I was somewhere the other day, and the kids, and where was I? I was somewhere recently where there was a lot of children, and one of the kids had a wiggly tooth and was showing me the wiggly tooth, and then it fell out, and so they picked it up. They found it on the floor. They picked it up, and then they walked it to their mother, and he just dropped it into. Actually, I think they dropped it into their dad's hand, and he turned around and gave it to his wife. While losing a tooth may seem like an ordinary part of growing up, it marks another chapter in a family's story. These everyday memories remind us that family history is about much more than official records. It's about the milestones that make us smile and the moments that help us remember what childhood was really like. So what other stories can you tell on about losing teeth? I've told this was my one that came out when I was 16. That was my last tooth I lost. I had all my baby teeth, not all of them, but I still had some baby teeth by the time I was 16. Yeah. I can't remember which came first. I think I got my driver's license before I lost my last baby tooth. How's that one? I got my driver's license when I was 15, and I didn't lose my last baby tooth till I was 16. And in that last year with my baby teeth, I think I had 3. There was this one, the one behind it. I think there might have been a couple on this side, a couple of molars on this side as well. Yeah, I had my teeth for a very long time, and I am turning 60 in December and have never, ever, ever, ever had a cavity. I just go to the dentist to get my teeth cleaned, and that's it. I'm sorry, I'm boring. And I haven't checked with my brother, but I believe my brother has not had a cavity either. But I haven't checked with him on that fact. He'll probably message me and tell me after he sees the video. But yeah, never had a cavity in my entire life, and I'm 60 years old. Did not have any cavities in my baby teeth. Lost my last one when I was 16, and I am now going to be turning 60 in December and have not had a cavity. Not one. So yeah, we had pretty good genes on that one with the thing, with my teeth. Good genes passed down from my parents. I don't know which parents it came from, but we've had ones where we've tied, we've heard of things where tying a string around the tooth, like a bit of cotton around the tooth, and putting it around the door handle and then slamming the door shut. There's some really cool ones that are on TikTok where they use remote control cars. I've seen them do that. The door one was a common one. Standing on a higher surface and having the string tied around and putting it around a rock or something, just dropping the rock. And then the kid decides, no, I don't want to do it too late. The tooth's gone. Seen those ones too. Kids are funny with. I mean, we're all funny when we have teeth that are loose. We kind of poke at it a lot with our tongue. Yeah, still doing that today. So ask a family member about the first tooth that this is your challenge. Ask a family member about the first tooth they remember losing. How old were they? How did it come out? Did the tooth fairy visit, or did your family have a very different tradition? Is there a photograph or a funny story that everyone still talks about? Record those memories today, because the smallest milestones often become the stories that make future generations smile. And let us know in the comments below some of the stories that you uncover, even if it's your own story. If you want to tell your own story, go for it. I'm happy to listen to it, happy to read it. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at, hang on, I've got to make sure I don't have anything on then, at 6 p.m.